Hello, and welcome to another edition of The Way I See It. It's great to be here with you tonight on this beautiful Sunday night. Don't forget tonight that we have the comment section here. If you want to say something about tonight's show, we have a lot to talk about as usual. I was going to do this show tomorrow, but usually Monday's my day off from doing anything media related. So I decided that I was going to do it now. I had some things to take care of, but I think I got everything I needed to get done. So here we are. All right, first we're going to start off with our usual Chinese wisdom. So let's get started with that, of course. So we're going to head into doing that. But anyway, don't forget the way I see it. Usually we're live here on Sunday nights at 9:35. We do a half-hour quickie show, but tonight we're going to do a 1 hour show. I was unable to do a show Friday due to technical issues. So now that we got those worked out, we can get some things done here as far as my media stuff goes. All right, let's get into the. All right, Chinese wisdom. All right, your mind is original, creative, and alert. That is it. Chinese wisdom tonight. Your mind is original, creative, and alert. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Compliments of the Chinese people. So there we are. All right, comment section's wide open tonight. All right, let's get started with our usual pitted people. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying. The bonehead. The person who has that apartment at Station Square that bragged about their safe and got it stolen by a cleaning crew. All right. You heard about that incident over at those new apartments over there at Station Square, and it's really sad that some bonehead who lives in there would broadcast that I have a safe with jewelry and money and everything in it, so somebody, a thief, can go get it. Very good. That's real smart. Thanks a lot. All right, there you are. That's our boneheaded move. Bonehead is brought to you by Robin Campbell Farmers Insurance. If you need any kind of insurance, life, home, auto, and renters, anybody that rents out there, I recommend you get a renter's insurance because you just never know what's going to happen. Don't forget about our comment section here, but don't forget to call Robin Campbell. 412-366-3399 is the number to call. 412-366-3399. Robin Campbell, he will do you well for insurance. He does farmers insurance, and he'll do any kind of insurance you need. Fire, home, auto, life, any kind, renters, any kind of insurance. Liability insurance. Let's say you're a DJ or a musician and you want to get your equipment covered. He can cover you with some liability insurance as well. Alrighty. We are going to get started here with my life story coming up soon. But first, we have a blast tonight. And unfortunately for tonight, you're not going to believe this, but in all reality, we only have one blast tonight. And, I was hoping that maybe perhaps I could have some other blast tonight. But I do want to blast. Hold on a second. I'll tell you about the blast in 1 second here. Give me a minute. And here we are. Alrighty. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Okay, first, I am going to blast tonight the city of Pittsburgh and bad planning. You had the marathon, the pirate game. You had every other kind of event and its mother going on today in Pittsburgh. Why would you put all those events together on the day of the marathon? Now, come on. You knew the marathon was coming back. You very much knew that. Okay? So why would you even consider, and I mean even consider, all right, having all these events going on at the same time? City planning, and I know you're new, and I know Ed Gainey put you there, but you got to wake up a little bit. It goes on too much around here with the city planning and all these events stuffed into one thing, and you can't get around the city. The city. Now, fortunately for me today, I didn't have to worry about it. I had someplace I had to go. It was out in the west. All right, so I didn't have to worry about downtown at all. And that was a good thing, okay, as far as that goes. All right. But anyway, So that's a shame about what happened. And I want to blast the Airport Marriott. How dare you, Airport Marriott, get 200 people sick? It's ridiculous. Unsanitized silverware. The health department went in there. They said you had unsanitized silverware and you had mold. What in the world are you doing there? That is supposed to be a professional hotel, and you go ahead and you get people sick? 200 people sick? What is wrong with you folks? The Airport Marriott. You should be ashamed of yourself. That's unacceptable to me, and it's unacceptable to anybody. All right? Now you're going to lose business because you got bad publicity from this whole thing from going on. I think it's terrible. I think you should admit it. I think the banquet manager and any other kind of manager should be fired. Okay? That's my blast tonight in regards to this as well. Also, I want to blast the county jail folks. You know what? Let's start getting this thing together. Let's start working with the guards. It's dangerous down there. It's really dangerous when you put the guards through what you've done as far as the guards go. You need to do something down there. You need to sit down with the union, and you need to work everything out as planned, because I'm going to say this. You shouldn't do this at all. This shouldn't have to happen. The guards shouldn't have to be put through all this down there at the jail. It's a hard job as it is, and then you, the administration there, make it even harder. And that is a dead shame. All right. Okay, so let's move on here. We're going to get started with my life story tonight. And my life story is very, very interesting here, because what's going on is that we had an incident here at the building, and it's getting kind of old. Went out on Friday, came back, parked my vehicle in the handicap spot that I normally do. In case a lot of you are not aware, I am handicapped, and so we park in a handicap spot. And I got, it's really frustrating. You wake up, and it was Saturday morning, and then Saturday afternoon we had to go to church. Now, the reason we had to go to church on Saturday was because of today's marathon. The marathon goes right past our church, so we have to go on Saturday night. So I get into my vehicle, and my fiance moves my scooter, puts it in my spot, because people in the building have no consideration for handicapped people, and they make their guests park their car in my spot. All right, so I have to do like people do with a garbage can. I do it with my scooter. Well, it turns out my fiance says, "Look here, we have a big key scratch. Somebody's really did a keyed my vehicle. Keyed my vehicle." Now, I have some pretty good idea who it is, in case you're not aware. I had some packages stolen here in my building. I got verbally harassed by a guy who's a motorcycle guy who's a guest of a tenant in here, and I can't get him out. I've been having some big-time problems with the housing authority as far as trying to get people evicted out of here on the exclusion list. And then today, my fiance had a bridal shower. And we went down to Canonsburg for the bridal shower, come back, and we get hassled by another tenant in the building. And this tenant is one of my suspects to who I think keyed my Jeep. All right? Had to call the police, had to file a police report, had to send it down to public safety through an email for the housing authority. And then on top of that, last night I was late for my draft show. I didn't get moving until about 11:30, 12:30, and 1:30 in the morning. Then I had technical issues trying to get the draft show on last night. So yesterday and Friday, I was batting 1,000 when it came to technology, and it came to technical stuff, and it came to all of this and that. So it turns out now that everything is working properly, and I've gotten into a new streaming service, and I'm starting to get there, and I'm blessed to the fact that God helps me get through some of this stuff. Went to church, had a beautiful night there. We had spaghetti. Spaghetti, meatballs, salad. It was called Spaghetti Saturday. Next weekend or 2 weekends from now, we're going to have our church retreat at Highland Park. So my life story today has been pretty good, considering the fact that I had some issues. And it's sad that some of these things happen. and they do. And so that's the story there, and that's my life story, and that's the blasts here that I have. And what I want to talk about here is uh, some news. Pennsylvania LIHEAP program has been extended. President Biden, as you know, has been all over these gas companies and oil companies and fuel companies for their nonsense gouging the public. So now he's going after the home heating oil people. And I don't blame him, because I got to tell you what, they extended the program LIHEAP. And LIHEAP is a really good program if you're broke. I mean, if you're poor and you really need to get this, that's what you can do. You're watching The Way I See It with me, Ralph Williams, and this is The Way I See It. We're usually here on Sunday nights at 9:35. I was a little bit late tonight. I was going to put this on tomorrow because I had a few things to do tonight, but I was able to get those done in time to put the show on, even though I was a little late. I'm sure you wouldn't admire that at all. All right. Anyway, jobs in Pittsburgh. I want to talk about this a little bit. The Postal Service today had a big hiring spree. I hope they really hired some people, because I'll tell you what, that's a tough job. People don't really want to do it, even before the pandemic and before this time when we're having issues trying to find jobs or trying to find people for jobs, because we have a bunch of lazy people out there. And when we get let's get back to the housing authority for a minute and some other stuff, okay? I have said that this country this year, my theme is nothing. And that is because it's the truth, nothing, all right? We have basically put ourselves through the nonsense of nothing, all right? Nobody does anything anymore. There's not that many people that do anything. They won't hold the door open for you. They won't save a handicap spot for you. They won't do anything. That's nothing. And it's been going on for a long time. And now the nothing world has worked its way to the job market. Because you know what's interesting? Nobody wants to work, which is nothing. Okay? The job market, we're having problems, and this is why we're having an inflation. This is why we're having issues with a lot of different things, because we don't really have to. I mean, there are a lot of people in this country that figure they don't have to have a job. Well, in case a lot of you don't know, remember the Great Resignation didn't work. Now they're calling it the Great Regret. Everybody's regretting what they've done as far as the Great Resignation, because what has happened is nobody has understood it at all. Okay, as far as that goes. All right, so here we are with a situation that you know laziness is just unbelievable. I have never seen what I'm seeing in this country today, and it's unreal. And I'm sure you'll agree with me on that. And you can comment right here in the comment section. Did you like my blast? Do you think I'm blasting the city in the wrong way about planning? No. I'm tired of every time the marathon's here. You stack the city up with 600 events. Can't get around. It's very difficult. The Pirates probably could have had a better crowd today if people were able to get around for the game. People couldn't get around at all for the game simply because of the marathon. So, but everybody was late for the game, and then the game got started late, and then it rained. All right, so that didn't help matters much today either with anything. All right, Allegheny County Health Department, and besides the fact that 200 people got sick at the Marriott, Chipotle restaurant in Monroeville is being cited for safety violations. Okay, so they have a bunch of those going on there, leaving food out, without temperature properly, and a whole lot of other things there at the Chipotle in Monroeville. I wouldn't go eat there if I were you at all. In fact, I would. I've never really eaten at a Chipotle. I'm not into that Mexican burrito stuff. I do eat at Taco Bell occasionally, but I'm not into any of that stuff at all. You're watching The Way I See It. I am Ralph Williams. Look at the ticker taker at the bottom. Our new ticker taker says all shows live on YouTube and Facebook. Also, my email address is up above on the screen there. So if you have any further comments beyond the show, please feel free to email me in regards to that as well. So anyway, as I mentioned before, but Chipotle out of Monroeville is someplace I definitely wouldn't eat due to that situation. All right, let's talk a little bit about the election coming up. I was talking before, and the way I see it is this election here, it's getting really nasty on her. They have Dr. Oz, you have McCormick, you have all these other people, Summer Lee. You want to know something? I watched Summer Lee on a couple debates. I don't like the way she carries herself, okay? I don't like the way she kind of has this little bit of an attitude. I mean, it's nice to have in a perspective because women get manipulated in the when they're in the Senate and the House in the state of Pennsylvania and even in the federal government. The men try to bully the women, and I understand that. And sometimes that's what you have to do, okay? In order to get yourself where you need to be. Sometimes that has to happen too. People think because I'm handicapped, they can take advantage of me. Well, they got something coming because I'm somebody, and I urge all my handicapped friends out there that are in wheelchairs, that are disabled or handicapped. I urge you not to make yourself to be taken advantage of in any way, shape, or form. It's not an easy thing, and it's not hard to verify the fact that you're going to get that perspective is going to happen to you. So you can't really afford to have anything like that. Have your get scammed on the phone, get scammed on the TV, get scammed all the way across the board. Here, I got something for you here I forgot to tell you about. How about that ultimate tax relief? You ever see that commercial on TV? I don't. There are people out here who don't read newspapers, don't watch TV. They don't watch the news because they think it's negative. It's not all negative, but you know what? I watch the news to keep myself informed. Okay, and that's something that I think you should do as well. I don't care how you do it. Keep yourself informed. You don't necessarily have to watch the news at all. But I want to tell you this, and the way I see this is ultimate tax relief. That is a fraud. Okay. And the reason I say it's a fraud is because I have a relative in my family who I'm not going to tell you who it is, who is having some tax issues. So I called Ultimate Tax Relief. Do you know they wanted to go into deep, and I mean deep into the realm of my relatives' finances. They wanted to make sure that there was nothing there other than this tax problem, okay? That's none of their business. That Ultimate Tax Relief has no right to do that to somebody, okay? So I want to let you know, and I'm one of these kind of people that will let you know on this show, because the way I see it, the ultimate tax relief that's advertised on TV is a fraud, okay? So whatever you do here on the way I see it, and you understand what I'm saying, do not, okay? That's right. They cheer for themselves. That's about what they do. All right. So Ultimate Tax Relief, never, ever use them at all. They are a scam and a ripoff. And I'm just saying it's been a situation that has gone too long. You have these people out here scamming people. It's bad enough gas prices are high. It's bad enough this is going on. That's going on. We got violence everywhere. Okay. And that tonight is the way I see it about Ultimate Tax Relief. Let's talk about Joe Biden right now. And I'm not happy with him again, because once again, we continue to give more and more money to Ukraine. We need to stop doing this, okay? We have issues here, all right? We need to stop giving money away to these people and get some of these people up off their ass. That's right, I said it, up off their ass. And working. We have too many people that are not working. Too many businesses that have to close up because they can't find employees. Okay? You complain because you can't go to the convenience store overnight because they can't find an employee who wants to work. Oh, I know what you're going to say. I have to go get shots. I don't know if I want to do that. That affects... something? I want to tell you a little story. Once I was married, My first wife is up in with the Lord. I'm about to be married for a second time coming up on May 21st, okay? So, my first wife, her family, a guy in her family that he's educated. He has 3, 4 different degrees in many different things, everything from engineering all the way across the board and everything. He was real lazy, didn't really want to kind of work. Then, then he went out and he got a job, and it was a real good paying job. Do you know he would not take the job? Would not take the job because it didn't work around his TV land schedule. His TV land schedule. Yeah. You know, I have something I'm going to say here, and I say this quite often. It's funny, but it's not funny at all. It really isn't funny, none whatsoever. Okay? It's not funny, but it is funny because, and I'm going to tell you why I believe it's funny. Because it's funny that somebody like that doesn't want to work. And we have people out here now that don't want to put the Xbox down. They want to sit at home and play Xbox. And Joe Biden, you continue to give these people money. Go get the employees that the states need to process, give the money to them, to hire employees to process unemployment claims so we can get people up off their ass and get them out working. Okay? It's pretty sad that the Port Authority of Allegheny County still hiring for drivers, maintenance people. I've never seen what I'm seeing now. It's disgraceful. All right? Okay? The Postal Service. When has the Postal Service ever hiring other than Christmas time? They're doing it now. Okay? I know. That's a hard job. I got to walk up and down steps. I got to do this and that. You knucklehead, it's a $20-some an hour job. And sometimes that's what you got to do. All right? If I could do it, I would. I'd soak up overtime. I'd do it all. All right? And that's the way I see it tonight. And you're going to say to me, well, why do you continue to talk about lazy people? Because there are lazy people out here. It's so bad that, as I said before, that the Port Authority is still hiring. I remember you couldn't get a school bus driver's job. And they're paying $25 an hour. And they can't get a school bus driver job. That's part-time. Oh, I don't want to put up with bad kids. I don't want to have to deal with that. It comes with the job. You know, I was in the service business, in the service industry, customer service for 35 years. My fiance was in it for just about as long as I have. Between us, the combination of the two of us, we have 70 years of combined experience in customer service. And what we're seeing now is disgraceful. Because the two of us worked our asses off in this town. We worked our asses off all across the port to make sure that we did our job properly. Because the way we were brought up was not to be lazy, but to work hard and treat people right. And that's exactly what I've done my whole life. And now, you know what I mean? I work hard doing these things. And I still get screwed. I get screwed by the local media in this town. Okay? Who don't want to acknowledge me. Acknowledge me. Why? Because I'm just as good as anybody else in this town in the media. All right? I'm national. I have national sports programs and a wrestling show. And this show here, as soon as Mark Mancini, my producer, finds a spot for me in his media company to put me and him on, we're doing a national show called The Way We See It. The way we see it. The program directors in the stations in this town will not return my phone calls. Will not return Mark's phone calls to try to put our shows on their stations. Okay? But you know what they'll do? They'll put all these people on and they all talk about the same thing. Okay? They all talk about the same thing. All right? Uh, I tried to have Brian Englert on Friday. He had to cancel out at the last minute due to a family emergency. We're going to try to get him back on. He is the president of the guards down at the jail for their union. All right. I tried every which way I can to get somebody from Port Authority on here to discuss. Port Authority will not come on here. All right. The union representing the Port Authority, I feel bad for them because now they have all these hearings and all these employees are getting fired because they have to get shots. What you see, this works both ways with both the Port Authority and the union. Okay? Port Authority put this mandate up there. All the employees knew about it. But we're still getting this. I don't want the government telling me what to do. My job's not going to tell me. I got to go out and get a shot. Well, then you get fired. All right? There has already been people terminated. And when I called Ross Nicotero to come on here, the president of the union for Local 85, you know what he told me? Ralph, I can't. I got hearings every day. Every day. Because of this. It's completely out of control. All right, we have a comment section. Don't forget to put your comments in there tonight. What's your thoughts on the show? I'd like to hear from you. See what you think. This is the way I see it. I am Ralph Williams. We are here mostly on every Sunday night at 9:35. But tonight I was a little bit late, and we are having a 1-hour special show tonight because Friday night I had technical problems and I could not get the show on the air. Plus my guest didn't come either, and that was Friday when I was batting 1,000. You know, I always tell my life story on this show, and I'm allowed to because it's my show. I'm the one that puts it together. I'm the one that's here broadcasting it. I'm the one that does all the legwork. So, and if you're interested in having me advertise your business, feel free to email me on my email up on the top of the screen, and we'll talk. Okay? My rates are not that expensive. You can put your show, on here, or you're advertising your business. I already have one that I advertise on here. I have a few. All right, so if you're interested in being an advertiser or have an advertising sponsor for my program, check me out the email above and we'll talk. Okay? All right. Also, your comments. What are you doing tonight? It's Sunday night. Ralph Williams, this is the way I see it. And I'm not crying over spilled milk about these local radio stations. The reason why I'm saying it is because I think you will agree. I have the talent to be on the radio. I have the talent to put my show on in a national basis on one of these local radio stations. I got other radio stations in Alaska and everywhere else that want to put my shows on, but the stations here don't want to do it. But there's one station whose name I'm not going to mention, and I'm not going to say anything of who they are. All right. They continue to play the same thing over and over again, the same people. And you have this person comes on, they talk about the president. You have this person come on, they talk about Ukraine. You have this person come on, they talk about the election. I talked about the election a little bit. I talked about Ukraine a little bit. But I don't base a whole show on the whole thing. All right? If I'm by myself here doing my show and I don't have a guest, I talk numerous different topics. I blast people that I think are doing people wrong. Okay? I blast people if I think that you're doing something really stupid, and I make you a bonehead. Especially boneheads. All right? Now, here's a topic of discussion that a lot of talk show hosts don't want to talk about, and that's driving. Do you know Pittsburgh has the worst drivers in the world? Okay? The worst drivers. What I've seen now is terrible. And I understand your pain. I understand. You have to go out and get a car, because, even though you don't know how to drive, but you have to go out and get a car because you don't want to wait for the bus because of the situation that's going on. You don't want to call Uber because Uber keeps jacking their prices up. You don't want to call Lyft because you're afraid you might get a driver that's disgusting or whatever. Those rideshare services are not all that great. Z-Trip Cab. Let me tell you a little story about Z-Trip Cab. I have a couple buddies that still drive for Z-Trip, and, they do a pretty good job. They do a real good job. But do you know their dispatch system comes from another city? It's not here. It's from some switchboard in Alaska or Utah or somewhere like that. All right? So how in the world can you justify calling for a cab and somebody in Georgia picks it up and has no idea where you live in Pittsburgh? All right. I know God invented GPS. I know it's on the screen. They can pop it up. They know where to put it. You know what I mean? They send it over to the company, and then the company, uh, does that as well. Uh, you know, but the company will take the order and put it over the computer and give it to the driver. The drivers don't even talk to a dispatcher anymore. It's all computer. Yellow Cab, Z-Trip, whoever they are, down or they know Z-Trip. I know some guys who used to work for them. They got their jobs cut. New owners took over. They decided they either wanted younger people. They even broke up the union. All right. I can't get Jamie Campolongo on here to talk about things because, as usual, he's another one. Don't want to return my phone calls. I called his secretary. Never got a return call to have him on the show. See what I got to put up with? This is the disrespect I get as a media person in this town. Okay? All right? And then we got the retreads out there. And I hate to do this, but it's so frustrating. It's unbelievable. That the town that I've lived in my whole life doesn't, I'm a media person, and I know I'm new practically. I'm not new to the media. I've been in the media before. Okay? But, what in the world is going on here when you have to, do this to me like this? I just don't get it at all. I mean, I really don't. I don't get it, none whatsoever, So, don't forget Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Sports Corner here on YouTube and Facebook. I'll be here. I'm going to be talking about everything, including who the Steelers drafted. We're not going to get in depth in it because we're doing that Thursday night at 10:15 right here. I got Scott Morganroth from the South Florida Tribune, and I also have Claudia Rosano and Joe Kuglis coming on, and maybe more. I'm working on some more guests for that show. It's going to be another summit. This is going to be a draft summit. We're going to talk about the draft. I got something here. J.C. Penney offers to buy Kohl's. J.C. Penney is closing stores to begin with. Why would you buy Kohl's? Okay, you know what this is? This is another Sears Kmart. All right? You think about that one time. Remember when Sears bought Kmart? Sears wasn't doing well. Kmart wasn't doing well either. And I liked Kmart. I did. But you know who put Kmart out of business? Walmart and Target. Walmart and Target. Okay? I like Target. Target has clean stores, wide aisles, nice employees. I like Walmart too. I like Target a little bit better for that. Okay? You might pay a couple bucks more for a couple things, but Target has their share of where they are, and Walmart overcharges as well. Okay? All right? Don't think buying online you're saving money either, because you're not. All right? Comment section's wide open. Anything you want to talk about, we can. It's open forum here on the way I see it. Anything you want to talk about here, comment section wide open. Come on board. I'm working on getting doing a live call-in show as well here. Don't forget May 5th, which is this coming Thursday, 6 p.m. live call-in show at the on PCTV channel 21 Comcast 47 Verizon and PCTV's Facebook page as well. I have a possible special guest coming on for the way I see it, and don't forget Sports Corner with my co-host Smoking Jim Frazier. And again, we're going to talk about the draft and some other things. So we also do it's a live call-in show, 412-231-2288. Just pick up your phone, give us a call. Don't forget about the way I see it. We have our normal Topics Blast segment and everything else as well. But J.C. Penney wants to buy Kohl's. Kohl's is struggling too. There's a lot of people struggling because of this, what they call inflation, what they call our economy's in bad shape. But it's so in bad shape, but we're still expending an expensive amount of money. The parking lots at the malls are still full. The restaurant parking lots are full. So don't tell me everybody's broke. You got money. You just don't work for it. You sit at home and collect unemployment. You're lazy. That's why it's called nothing this year. A nothing season. Your comments are welcome here. We're on YouTube Live, Facebook Live. I'm Ralph Williams. The way I see it tonight. We're normally here on Friday nights, but we had some technical problems. And tonight we're going to do 1 hour. We almost had to move a show to Monday, but instead, I decided to get everything I needed to get done tonight and take my Monday day off like I normally do. So, All right. So anyway, as I mentioned before, okay. Oh, here we are. Well, you know what? That was cut out. Oh, well, you know. What are you going to do? Anything you want to talk about, just come on the comment section. Tell me any kind of issues you want to talk about or discussion of any kind of topic you might want me to approach or deal with. Maybe there's something you don't like what I say. Yeah, that's fine. I accept those kind of criticism comments. You know what I'm saying? And I know what you're saying too. You're probably saying, Ralph, look, quit crying over spilled milk. I'm not crying over spilled milk about this media in this town. It's a fact, and I'm exposing it. Just like investigative reporters expose things. I'm exposing this. Okay? It isn't the old boys gang. It always has been. Okay? If I get fired from KDKA TV, KDKA Radio gives me a job. Okay? Let's say I get fired from McDonald's and I want a media job. I can't get it. But if I get fired from KDKA TV, or if I get let go, I automatically get a job at the radio station. Okay? Automatically. Back in the day, when I used to be in radio before, it was about who you knew. So it was all on who you know. Now, you can't get anybody to help you get a radio job in this town. And you want to know why? Because everybody's afraid. Well, most of the people that I used to know, they all died. Okay, they're all up with the Lord. So there's nothing I can do about that. I can't control that. All right? But I know for a fact now, these days, it's not all in who you know anymore. Okay? Because the people that you know that already are established in their job, they don't want to get you involved in this. They don't want you on their sports show. They don't want you on this show. They don't want you on that show. They don't want to help you do this because they're afraid that I'm better than they are. And maybe I am. Okay? But this is not the way Pittsburgh operates. But it seems in that kind of business, that's the way it operates. Okay? And if I stay here on YouTube and Facebook the rest of my life doing these shows, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it. And I get some sponsors and some advertisers, people who are willing to, have me advertise their business here, which I have advertised some businesses here. I have some sponsors. Okay? All right? So why is it that the local media here doesn't want anything to do with me? What's the problem? All right. I made some mistakes in my early career. I had an opportunity to take a job at a well-known radio station in this town as a board op, and I turned it down because I wanted to be on the air. And I worked at a dinky station. I wouldn't say dinky. I got started there. Okay. All right, you got to start at the bottom anyway, so it doesn't make any difference. But I should have took the board ops job because I think by now I probably would have an established radio job at some radio station here in town. Or I tried to get, I was down in Raleigh for a while. I did some exploring around to look to see what the DJ, what the media jobs were like radio DJs or talk show hosts or whatever down there. Okay, I can't even get people that I know to help me get on the radio station that have their own financial show on there. What, you can't talk to that station about putting my show on? This is where media has gone. This is where this has gone. Okay? If you work at McDonald's and you show somebody how to flip burgers, fine. Because you know you guys still got your job because you can flip burgers better than they can. Okay? All right? Fast food work, all you got to do is show up. You know, you don't have to be nice. Actually, today, I was at a KFC. And the KFC in Canonsburg, as a matter of fact. I pulled up. I went to order my food. And here's what this guy said to me today. It was interesting because you don't get this too much when you pull up at the drive-thru. Most of the time it's, can I take your order? Or is it, oh, can I take your order? All right. Comment section wide open if you want to make a comment about anything. All right. But he said to me today, this is what the guy said to me at the drive-thru. What would you like that's good and tasty? You know, I never heard that before. That's interesting. What would you like that's good and tasty? And then he said, here, and then he handed me my bag, and he said the same thing again. Here's everything that's good and tasty. And guess what? It was good and tasty. Okay? Because sometimes when you go through the drive-thru and you go up to the McDonald's or the Burger King or the Wendy's or the Taco Bell or the Long John Silver's or wherever, you know, there's not too many of those left. Okay? Any fast food or drive-thru place you go through, sometimes the customer service there stinks. You either get the wrong food or you get cold food. Then you got to take it back and they give you a hard time. All right? But then these folks that work in these fast food places want $15 an hour. Well, now you got your wish because now they're so desperate. They're paying up to some places are paying up to $15 an hour. Some of these fast food places. Most of them are paying 12 to 13, but that's still not bad considering what you were making because our legislature and don't want to move the minimum wage up. West Virginia has their minimum wage is higher than ours. West Virginia, and that's a smaller state. West Virginia. Tell me that's not something else, is, huh? West Virginia. Comment section's wide open tonight. Don't forget anything you want to talk about or you want to discuss. Put it in the comment section here and we'll go over it and we'll discuss it and I'll air it. Also, if you're a business out there and you would like to advertise on the show here and you would like me to advertise on any of my shows, you're welcome to email me and I'll be more than willing to talk with you about rates and things like that. All right, so take a look at my email above the screen here. On the top, at the bottom, you see the ticket, my new ticket taker, where you could see some information for you there as well. All right. So, yeah, there we go. Wow. Fast food restaurants, drive-thrus. What kind of experience did you have? Or do you avoid those? I'm sure if you have kids, little Ronnie or little Stevie or little Susie, probably wants a Happy Meal or something. All right. So, most of the time when you go through the drive-thru, you usually get cold food. Well, I'm going to tell you a little story this week as part of my life story. Went to go meet with one of the bridesmaids for our wedding. We went and we met at the Red Robin up in South Hills Village. Okay, and you know something very interesting. My mother says to me because my mom was there with us, and we ordered our food at Red Robin. Now I will tell you this much: these places have shrunk their burgers because Red Robin used to give huge burgers out. The burger was good. Okay, it was worth the money. Plus, you get unlimited fries. So get my first order of fries are nice and soft. Get the second order of fries, I get stumps and are overcooked. Okay? No consistency. And you know what's funny? That's going on everywhere now in all of the restaurants. Everywhere. You know? And that's because of the supply chain shortage. That's because of, major issues with getting employees in there. And the food is not properly cooked the way it should be. And a lot of businesses are going out, as I mentioned earlier, they're going out of business. They can't anymore. They've been in business for 50 years and they have to work 15 hours a day because they can't get employees because they're lazy. Lazy. Okay? Lazy. Fast food restaurants are paying $12 to $15 an hour and they still can't find people. This is what you wanted. You wanted that kind of money to work at a job. And here it is, and you're not there. You're not there. To flip burgers, you want $15 an hour, and you got it, and you're not there. And you protest every year. You still protest about that $15 an hour. You take one day out of the year to go protest about $15 an hour. It's there. Where are you? How come you're not there? How come you're not there for that $15 an hour? Where are you? Hello? Where you at? Hello? Hey, 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 where you at? Where are you? Where are you? I can't find you. You said you wanted $15 an hour. It's there to flip burgers, but you don't want to do it. Okay? I get cold food. I get food that's not prepared properly. I get stumpy French fries. I get my order incomplete. I get nastiness at the window. And you want $15 an hour. But today was the exception to the rule. I went to the KFC and I got a nice man there that was very nice with me about nice and tasty. Would you like something nice and tasty? Sure. My food was hot too. He gave me a fork and a spoon to eat what I went there to get. A fork and a spoon. And he gave me napkins. Sometimes you can't even get napkins when you go to a place like that. I went to KFC. I was waiting around for my fiance to get done with her bridal shower. It was pouring down rain all day today. I broadcasted my Mahler's pregame show from the parking lot of the KFC in Cannonsburg. Not a lot of people know that. You do now. It's the way I see it tonight about fast food, drive-thrus, and everything else. Any comments section there? Anything you want to talk about tonight? We're getting ready to work on a live call-in where you can dial up a phone number, call in, and talk, just like you do on a radio or TV show or anything that is normal. And we do them here on our shows here online. I know folks that do them. I've done it already. I've had a guy on the phone that doesn't have a hookup or internet, so I had to get him by phone to get him on my show. He's a friend of mine who lives in California. I make good friends nationally on the media. I'm invited on shows, but the local stuff here, they don't want me. I can't get on the Sports Showdown. I can't get on the Final Word. I sent LB Oxenrider and Bob Pompiani all this stuff that I do. Do any of them call me? No, they don't. I don't know why. But you got guys that come on that have scruffy beards, that look disgusting, okay, that are on there, and I'm not going to mention their names, all right? So I'm wearing just a plain orange t-shirt tonight for all my shows. Because it's okay when they get on the Sports Showdown and they're in their jammies and they're in their, a shirt from their house and all this. So I'm in my house, so, I'm at my studio here at 808. Okay? Interesting, isn't it? Wide open tonight. I'm opening up to you. I want you to talk to me. I want you to tell me what you want me to talk about. I want you to tell me what's going on. I want you. Oh, I'll tell you another good thing. I saw that movie, The Batman. The current one, The Batman. It was all right. Wasn't bad, though. It showed the dark side. I mean, I'm talking deep dark side of Bruce Wayne and Batman. The deep dark side. And the good news about this is it was all about Batman. There was a little bit of Bruce Wayne in there. Bruce Wayne in this movie was so dark and deep, it's unbelievable. And then he really didn't, come out like he did. Like, if you watch the one with Christian Bale, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises, which some parts were filmed here in Pittsburgh, okay? And you watched the ones that were made in the 90s, George Clooney and and the rest of them, and Michael Keaton. The one with Michael Keaton and the Joker was good, and I thought that one was good. And then the one with the Penguin wasn't bad. The second one, the third one had Val Kilmer as Batman. He was okay. And then Robin started coming to the picture, and then George Clooney. Now George Clooney as Batman didn't work. Okay, Batman and Robin was okay. The villain, who happened to be Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze, he was pretty funny. Okay, so you had your variety of different Batmans there. Then in the early 2000s, Christopher Nolan decided to start a Batman series. So he starts off with Batman Begins with Christian Bale. That was decent. I enjoyed that. Okay. The second one, The Dark Knight, that was good. I didn't like The Dark Knight Rises. Too much Bruce Wayne, not enough Batman. The shots from Pittsburgh were good. In fact, I'm going to tell you this. They were paying $10 an hour at the time for you to sit at Heinz Field, and they were giving out free food to sit there for that football footage of that game. Do you know only 10,000, not even 10,000 people showed up for that? You could pay me $10 an hour, and I'll sit there all day and watch a game and eat free food. Oh, I know. You don't want to sit out in the heat. Not for $10 an hour. Nah. You could even be an extra in a movie and get paid for it. You could sit there all day and not even get on them, and they'll still pay you. Yeah. Xbox is too important. But the Batman, the movie, the Batman, the one that's out now, it's not a bad movie. As I mentioned before, it shows the real deep dark side. Batman Begins showed a dark side of Bruce Wayne, but it did. And then the Dark Knight, and then the Dark Knight Rises. He was in exile for 8 years. Okay. So what I'm saying to you is this: the Batman's not a bad movie. And the good news about this, I'm going to tell you this. This is how bad the theaters are struggling. They can't get people to come to the movies now. And HBO is putting these movies on faster. I watched it on HBO. It's only been out, 2 months? I used to have to wait a year to see a movie like that on HBO. Then you got HBO Max, you got streaming services, you got Amazon, you got all this other stuff that has all these different movies out there. Theaters ain't making money. Theaters are going to go out of business. And it's so bad at the theaters now that they're charging so much money, nobody wants to go to the theater. All right? And now you got these golf places and bowling places, and they're all mixed in with bars and stuff like that, all in Strip District. You notice that, don't you? There's even a golf place down there. Ding, 4. When I'm on 79, I pass Top Golf. Okay? There was a billboard up there. This was funny. I would go up and down 79, and there was this billboard that says "Shame on Top Golf," and I didn't know what it was about until I found out. They were bringing people in from out of town when they first opened that up and having them working there, not hiring anybody locally. So you know what I should do? I should go buy a billboard. Shame on the Pittsburgh media for not hiring me. I'm a local guy. I got shows nationally. I'm on national broadcast. They asked me to be on shows. I'm guest on shows. National shows. Tampa, Florida. South Florida. Okay? I'm on national shows. I was on talking about Michigan football. And I don't live in Michigan. I was on talking about Miami Dolphins with my friends down there in South Florida. National. My producer's from Los Angeles, California. I got friends in California. National. Okay? I got a buddy of mine that's in Texas. National. I'm going to be on his show. We discussed that. All right? But I'm going to go out. I'm going to buy billboard space. You know what? It's going to take me broke, but that's fine because I'm poor. I'm broke. You know, I'm so poor. Dollar Tree sent me a sympathy card. That's how poor I am. It's bad. It really is bad about how poor I am. The Dollar Tree, a sympathy card. All right. You know, I'm so poor. My house is on milk crates. All right. That's how poor I am. All right. So, you know, I mean, poor. Christmas, I decorated a stump. Yeah, that's right. I'm poor. Oh, oh man. See, the audience is there. They're even laughing. They think it's funny. That's right. Studio audience I have here. They think it's funny. We're at the studios of 808 in Studio B tonight. Okay. All weekend I've been broadcasting from Studio B. So, there we are. That's it. That is it. I even have a band. See, watch, I have a band. All right, there we are. All right, it's coming up on the closing of our show tonight. It's great that you were watching tonight. I didn't get any comments, but that's fine. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and like me on my Facebook page and my email address up above, as you see. On the ticker take there, you'll see what it says there, because that's exactly what it is. So there we are. I am Ralph Williams. This is The Way I See It. See you Friday night, 8 p.m. We will be live here again on both Facebook and YouTube. And also on Sunday nights, we'll be back at our normal time slot at 9:35 with the 30-minute version of The Way I See It as well. And then also don't forget all my other media shows as well. Don't forget The Way I See It coming up 4:15 p.m. Friday live on PCTV's Facebook page. I'm working on getting a guest on as a possibility of one. I am not sure, but still we will be there with The Way I See It. TV version works on a rotating basis on PCTV channel 21, Comcast 47, Verizon Cable in Allegheny County, and on the PCTV's Facebook page. We're always on there, the archive versions and the live versions. We'll live stream on Facebook on Thursday, May 5th. Don't forget, 6 p.m. is Sports Corner with myself and my co-host, Smoking Jim Frazier. We're going to be talking about some of the NFL draft, about the Steelers, Pirates, Penguins, Riverhounds, a whole lot more. I'm also trying to work something out to have work with the Pittsburgh Passion women's football team. They won this week 35-0. They beat a team 35-0. They played down at West Allegheny High School. So it's great that the Passion are up and moving again and playing football in the Women's Football League also. All right, it is time to go. It is time for me to leave, and I want to tell you, thanks for watching the show tonight. I appreciate you watching the show tonight. Good night, and be safe. And don't forget to subscribe on my YouTube page, and do not forget to like me on my Facebook page. Be safe. Have a good one.